Hello guys, and welcome to your market report. I'm really glad to have you guys here this morning. Let's get started, and let's open up the charts right here, and let's take a look first at the at Bitcoin, because it's the biggest mover and shaker today. We've got the price going up. Now this particular chart, this is a long-term chart, so it doesn't really show the power of this move. This is a very powerful move up that's been happening this morning. If we go to the 15-minute, we can see this move better. Well, actually, let's go to the 3-minute. Here we can see the move this morning, an upward move to 82.35. Now, yesterday she was plotting in around 7,600, 7,500. She's moved up to 82.30 right now. That's what it's at, 82.30. So we've had a move upwards in the price of Bitcoin overnight, but you have to put this in perspective. If you go back to the 1-day chart here, or even let's try the 12-hour. Yeah, okay, the 12 hours even better. What you can see when you put this in perspective here is this little bounce up right here on the end. That's what we're looking at. Now, in this bear market that started after the price hit 20,000, we went into a bear market. What we notice here is there's been two bounces before. The first bounce took the price up to roughly 11,500, more or less, and the second bounce here took the price up to about $9,900, more or less. Way I see it, this is the third bounce, and when you count these bounces, you can count the bottoms it's making in these bottom-making process. This was the first bottom here. This was the second bottom here. It's becoming more clear. We've made probably a third bottom now, and we're going in, and we're probably going to make we're bottom bouncing now. We're kind of, this is what it does, a market when it's getting ready and it's setting itself up for another bull market, which is coming in the future. What it's doing is presenting buying opportunities to you. I think that this is going to cool off. I don't think that this is going to exceed the last peak, which would be roughly $10,000. This little run up right now, I don't think it's going to exceed 10,000, and then I think it's going to cool off again. The price is going to go back down to present one last buying opportunity. How low is it going to go? I'm not exactly sure. But I think it's going to present one more buying opportunity before this bear market is over. This next bull market coming up in Bitcoin in the next year or two is going to be massive, because this is the wave of the future. So now let's take a look at our silver price today. Okay, let's focus our chart in on it here, because our chart's way open, big. There, let's focus in. 15.48. We're up 15 cents on the day, so we're having a good day. Pretty good day so far today. We're up around 15.50. Silver's been really struggling lately, you know, and this is all the fault of these manipulators who have been manipulating the price downwards. Quite seriously, everything else has been going up in price across the board. If you go in the morning and you buy a coffee, you notice that price of that coffee's probably went up by 50% in the last few years. Silver is the only thing that's been going in the opposite direction. Silver and gold is the only thing that's been going in the opposite direction from everything else. Everything else has been having price inflation. Silver and gold has been deflating in price. No inflation there. It's the price has been getting cheaper and cheaper. If this trend were to continue, which I know that it absolutely cannot, the price of silver and gold would be zero, and everything else in the world would be astonishingly high in price if this trend were to continue. It would start to become, at this point, it's already, in my mind, starting to become something that's an anomaly, something that's completely unusual, something that doesn't fit the fact that the silver and gold price is going down cheaper and cheaper, and the price of everything else is going up and up and up. Some of the prices on things like nickel plating would exceed the price of silver plating in the end if this trend were to continue. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. But it does make sense if you put it into perspective of price manipulation, which has been going on using paper. It's not really paper, but they create contracts. It's the equivalent of a paper contract, and they create an exceeding amount of these contracts. For every owner of 1 ounce of real physical silver, there's probably like 700 or 800 contracts out there of people that think they own your ounce of silver. On paper, they own your ounce of silver, but you actually hold it in your hand. So when this whole system shuts down, the guy that actually holds it in his hand really owns it, and all those people that own the paper contracts are going to be like have to whistle. They're going to have to settle them in physical dollars, and those dollars, not physical dollars, but in U.S. dollars, and those dollars might become worthless too. And then what do they end up with in the end? They don't have any real physical in their hand. So now let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average this morning. We're going to have to refresh the page here. Let me see. Has she started yet? We haven't really started yet. But you know what? We're supposed to be up today. We're going to have an up day. We're supposed to be up like 100 points or whatever. On terribly short volumes, small weaselly little volumes. The volume is still low today. So anyway, we're going to have to wait until she opens in a few minutes. I'm getting this report out a little bit early this morning, so the market hasn't quite opened yet. But we're supposed to be up like 100 points or something, or 150 points up this morning, later this morning. Now, let's take a look at the oil. Crude oil is $68.24. It's up 35 cents. I don't know what's wrong with my chart here. This is P4 chart. I'm just taking a look. Somebody has not done the chart properly here. Sorry for that, guys. But anyway, it's at $68.24 for sweet light crude. And this means it's up 35 cents, a half of a percentage point. It's getting up close to 70 bucks again, you know. Now let's take a look at bonds and rates. Bonds are going up this morning, but not substantially, only a small amount so far yet today. But still, we're starting to trend upwards again with bonds. This is the way I see it. Of course, the long bond right now is down 0.001%. But that's only a small move. Later in the day, it might actually start to trend upwards again. I'm expecting all these longer bonds to trend upwards. And that's the trend that I'm expecting right now. I'm expecting this to continue for the next month or so. It was a bit of a delay for it to get started. I think it's starting now, and they're starting to trend upwards. I don't think they're finding as many buyers now as they were. Cryptocurrency market capitalizations is what we're going to go to right now. And everything is trending upwards in cryptocurrency right now. Bitcoin dominance is amazingly high at 47.4%. Market cap is $297 billion. So the market cap is starting to go upwards again because all the altcoins are starting to go up. Some of them are up quite substantially. Like Bitcoin Cash is up to $853 at 5%. It's up. Of the top coins, that's your number one mover of the top coins. Is Bitcoin Cash. Litecoin has had a pretty good little move, 2.8%. Most of the coins have moved upwards. Monero's got a pretty good little move here at 3.44%. So we're seeing some movement upwards in the price of our altcoins right now. Nothing explosive yet. No explosive moves upwards, but we're seeing some moves upwards in the price. Now, the dollar index. 94.60, so the dollar's still riding high. It had a little dip this morning earlier, but now it's recovering. It's getting up toward 95 right now. Now, one of the things I want to point out here is I'm over a zero hedge, and you know, I'm a critical of North Korea. You know, I'll be the first one to admit I'm a critic of North Korea. I don't really trust them. I know what they've been trying to do in their tremendous propaganda machine that's anti-Western, anti-United States. They do not like the United States. They call our leader a dotard, which is a derogatory term for somebody who is old, feeble, and weak. Which none of it is true, but they use these derogatory terms for our president. So I'm going to be one of the early ones to report on this on my channel and carry the story that Zero Hedge is carrying here, that they're revealing satellite imagery that reveals North Korea is dismantling their key nuclear facilities. So if this is true, this is a good sign that North Korea really does want peace. If they really are dismantling these nuclear facilities. It says, contrary to an MSM report from 3 weeks ago citing anonymous U.S. officials, North Korea is actively dismantling key facilities related to their nuclear program. New commercial satellite imagery of the Sohae satellite launching station, North Korea's main satellite launch facility since 2012, indicates that the North has begun dismantling key facilities. Most notably, these include the rail-mounted processing building, where space launch vehicles are assembled before moving them to the launch pad, and the nearby rocket engine test stand used to develop liquid fuel engines for ballistic missiles and space launch vehicles. So they're dismantling their facility that they were going to use to build some sort of a crazy space weapon to blow us up. They're dismantling it. So I did a lot of videos on this, about this space facility. See the big launch tower and everything? The gantry tower and everything where they are going to send the satellite over to blow us up. I did a lot of videos about this, and evidently they're dismantling it all. So it was just like something out, honest to Pete, before they were dismantling this, it was just like something out of one of these movies, like James Bond movies, where you have the guy that has the base inside the volcano, and he's going to blow up the world, like Moonraker, you know, the original Moonraker movie, and he's going to blow up the world. This is what North Korea was like there for a while, and evidently they're dismantling this stuff, so maybe things are going to work out, you know. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Delta Report, and we'll catch you again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye for now, guys.